Good evening, or morning, or afternoon, whenever you're watching this. This is Max taking the helm. Mischief makers, welcome back to Play the Hits. Chris, how you doing?
I'm ready for some mischief, baby.
All right. Well, we're done.
I see you've been busy.
Yes, yeah. Getting all the. Well, I mean, I think we got most of the gold gems when we were going through, but I definitely did not have A ranks on any of this shit. So, yeah, here's something. Playing this game and trying to get like S ranks has taught me is I was a lot better at some video games when I was a kid.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the controller is at least part of the problem.
You know what? That is true. I'm getting better with it, but it's definitely still like I'll be slide jumping or something, holding the C buttons, and then it's just like, oh, did you mean to hit down? And now we're gonna like just throw
fuck you, you're going down. Hey,
terrible.
Sparks, how's it going? Whoa,
what's
what
up?
the fuck?
Uh-oh. What do we got?
Just, for some reason, Discord just shit the bed and stopped the stream for a second. It's fine now, but...
Oh, okay, good.
it just like went back to that menu and said, hey, do you want to watch the stream? Well, yeah, I really fucking do. It's kind of the whole point of this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, mounts. We're done with Megan's poor shit, so we're gonna start.
We're gonna get to the fun bosses coming up here. So, how was your Monday?
It's fine. The weekend was not long enough.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Seriously, it was just like Saturday. I was on the couch, just like I had the apartment to myself for a little bit, and it was just like,
so naturally you were naked.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
I swear, like, the sun was out. I closed my eyes for a second. It's nighttime. It's like, what the fuck? Like, it's not fair.
Sparks, Discord being Discord, revealing your screen names. Yeah. If anybody else tries to add us, I will just be like, nah, it's all right.
All right, do I gotta take... I do have to take this with me. Okay. Oh, you know what? I already fucked up. This is all supposed to go inside there.
I see.
Right, get in there.
Well, did it do it, or...?
Well, it's in there, so let's see if I shake it.
Oh, God. Is it supposed to do that?
I feel like, maybe I should have played some of these or something beforehand, but no, it's fine. I know Mischief makers. All right, now get in there.
Just this witch's brew of nuclear fusion.
All right, let's see. How was your weekend, actually?
Pretty much today is my weekend, so not bad.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, thank you. All right.
Hey, there
we
we go.
have enough for... I think it makes a bomb. Yeah, it definitely
Yep, I was right. Oh, Christ. The flowers make it even more deadly.
I think it makes a sure. Yeah, it does. Okay.
Huh. All right.
And
well, that's
I
cool.
need more bombs. Okay.
Need more bombs.
No. Give me a bomb, you bastard.
No.
Oh, you know what? One of these.
Surely one of you has a bomb. So yeah, short answer to the question about my weekend is I've just been dicking around with the analog pocket ever since I got it.
Oh yeah,
Man,
that's right. Holy
I love
crap.
that thing. Like I know that there are plenty of other handhelds out there that you can play pretty much any console on and whatnot, but the analog, just being able to play it perfectly makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah, that's... The fact that you're saying that there's like hardware for different systems in there, or at least something that emulates it super well.
Well, it's not emulation. They're super clear on that on their website. It is. I mean, I am emulating some games on it, but it is not a. It's not running like an emulator. So like you can tell when a game is emulated. Like even this, it looks great, but you know there are differences. From like the native hardware, just in how it moves and how it looks, and that's kind of the curse of emulation. It can be nearly perfect, but never quite perfect. But the games that I've been playing on RetroArch or not RetroArch, on the analog are absolutely perfect.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what have you? Because you can do both cartridges that you have. And does it like come with games or
no? So there is a really active fan community that does like a bunch of homebrew for it, But your only two options really are the... what are you supposed to be doing here?
I'm assuming something with a snowball? I don't know.
I was going to say, because...
That works.
That worked, but I get the feeling your average 10-year-old was not supposed to do that.
Yeah, right? All right, let's see.
No, so there's a bunch of homebrew and whatnot, but really your only two options are either Game Boy and Game Boy Advance cartridges or emulation. So I'm doing a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. But
gotcha.
Even the games that are emulated, like it's sort of like RetroArch where you can choose which core for some of the systems. But really all they do in the case of the analog is tell it what hardware mode to go into. Like it is like having a fully functional SNES or Genesis or GBA, like all in one, just like rolled together. It is really cool to look at. Like I've started, like I haven't really played through much of anything yet, but I've started just a couple of classics, and by a couple I mean like 13, just because I want to see if they really all do run as well as I think they do, and it's impressive.
It looks pretty sweet. It's very slick.
And it just looks like a Game Boy if a Game Boy were released in 2023.
So, as far as the size, would you say it's about a fatty Game Boy, or
no? It's like if you ever owned a Game Boy Color, you would know exactly what it feels like in your hands.
Okay, so it's a little smaller. All right.
Yeah. The screen though is huge. It takes up it's maybe a bit taller than the Game Boy Color, but about the same width. Definitely a little bit heavier because, like I said, it's not just like a Raspberry Pi in there. Like they have some serious circuitry, and so it's surprisingly like hefty in your hands.
Yeah, I'd want to know like
it feels
what
good.
Kind of hardware is in there for sure. Like,
I mean, they have it posted all over their website. I don't understand like the technical stuff of how it works, but I mean, like I said, I could hollow the thing out and put a Raspberry Pi in there and accomplish the same thing in theory, but like in practice, really the only options you have as far as like graphical tweaks are like a couple of filters to make it look like the original Game Boy or the Game Boy Light or the Game Boy Color, and then like how bright you want the screen, and then they also have a couple things like for NES games in particular. There's like one where they like smooth out the frames so that like, you remember all the flickering the NES had?
Yeah.
It essentially solves that.
Okay, that's cool.
Which is, yeah, it's really cool. So in some cases, and the screen itself, I don't know if it's an OLED, but it's very similar. Like basically every game that you play, it's like an HD res version of the original title. But the cool thing is the resolution is scaled in some ways. So like it's a 1-to-1. And so what you're seeing, it looks exactly like the SNES or the NES would have looked like 30 years ago, just minus the scan lines.
Okay.
But none of like the jank that we just talked about that's apparent with some emulators. Oh shit.
Oh, and apparently if it blows up, you're just done.
Yeah.
There goes Planet Clancer.
Sparks, the Game Boy Color was the peak console. I agree. The Game Boy Color was special.
Yeah, and the thing, there were so many games. I mean, I feel like DS, Color, DS, and Advance, like there was just a crap ton of games. Yeah. I think Game Boy, probably wins as far as like how many freaking games there were.
Oh, 100%. Though I will say, I think my favorite portable handheld that I've ever owned, even though I've since owned ones that are technically superior in every way, I think I just have the most fond memories of the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
One, because
the SP
you could
was
play
just,
you
could play everything. Like,
you could play all your Game Boy and Game Boy Color titles on it. So, like, I remember playing Link to the Past, or Link's Awakening DX on that. Yeah. And just think, oh wow, this is in color, and then, oh wow, I have a freaking Game Boy Advance. I can play all kinds of other shit too.
Yeah.
That system just had one rock solid release after another.
Yeah.
And I feel like it wasn't with us that long either, because the DS came out in what, 05?
04.
04. And the GBA was 2000, I want to say? 2001 maybe even. I don't think we entered high school with it.
No, whatever. Gold Gem.
I'm pretty sure I got it as a freshman in high school, which had to have been 01, 02.
Actually, okay, 2000, I feel, because the color came out like 90...
98?
90. Oh my god, if it was 98.
Yeah, the color came out 98. Because I remember...
Game Boy was by itself forever.
I have a really fond memory of getting the Game Boy Color, and then, like, that Easter, in my basket at my aunt's house was a copy of Link's Awakening DX. And so that was a great Easter.
Yeah.
Just sitting in my aunt's basement playing through that thing, like, all over again. That was a good time. That was definitely 98.
Yeah, the Advance was the first time, like, the Game Boy, yeah, you couldn't really see, like, at night, for instance, but I remember even, like, in sunlight, it was never a problem, and the original football Advance, it definitely was.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, you're right, yes, because it still had no backlight.
You had to have the, what do you call it? The
SP.
Well, the SP was fantastic, but like the lights, that was
like the light that clipped on the top.
You needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it really didn't help that much. As someone who owned that thing. Oh, by the way, like I dug out the boxes for a bunch of my old GBA titles, and there's a couple that are conspicuously missing, and I don't quite know what I did with them. So I'm wondering, like, if you find, like, an extra copy of Aria of Sorrow lying around that I, for some reason, left at your house at one point, let me know.
Okay.
So the titles I'm missing are Aria of Sorrow, Tales of Phantasia, and then... Oh,
dude, all the good stuff, man.
Oh, no, I got plenty of good stuff.
What was it? What am I missing? Wow,
Mega Man and Bass. Mega Man and Bass, I'm missing.
Wait. That's right. I was like, wait a second, that never came out here. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it did. It was, as a GBA game. Yep. Which is a shame, because the SNES version is superior in every way because of the screen ratio, but...
Yeah. And there was still, like, the Advance was 32-bit, but there was definitely some, like, the sound... was not as good as the Super Nintendo.
And they had to wash out the color palette because of what you just talked about. Originally, you couldn't see a thing on it.
Oh yeah.
Like so Circle of the Moon, for instance, was a release title that they basically programmed with a very dark color palette, and you couldn't see a thing.
That's right. Yeah, that game looks like doo-doo. Like
it does
kind of
until you play it on like a re-release or on the analog. I mean, then it looks incredible.
I've played the. I mean, I like the look, but I've played the what do you call it? The Advanced Collection. Actually, it does look better.
It does. It looks substantially better.
Now that I think about it,
it's amazing what a difference being able to see would make.
Yeah.
Sparks, those clip-on lights were horrendous for glare, but worth it to play under the covers. That's right. Yeah. That is right. But no, I remember when the SP came out. That was revolutionary. One, the rechargeable battery, and then two, the actual light. And then I guess like later editions of the SP like actually had a real backlight. It wasn't just essentially the first iteration of the SP. The light was like. It was kind of like a border light. It was all around the screen, but not actually behind it. And that's the version I have. And like, you can definitely tell a difference. But at the time, it was like, who cares? It's a light.
Yeah, I forgot that it was edge lit.
Yep.
So they weren't all like that, huh? Later on, they did with the DS. Or,
yeah.
Just
it was actually when the Micro came out that they updated the SP, and they did. There was no fanfare of it. It's just. If you bought an SP that was made at that time, then you have a better light than those of us who were early adopters.
Just like the I forgot about this thing. Just like the
Sparks, you didn't like spending half your allowance on AA batteries, right?
It was ow, God.
Oh dear God.
Doesn't seem like there's anything to this, but of course the trick is figuring out how to do it quickly.
Yeah, murdering it as hard as you can. Nice. Though I will say, I told you guys, Sarah actually ordered this system for me as a 10th anniversary present last year.
Yeah.
And it took a year and some odd months to actually come finally, because analog is... I know they actually have a whole blog dedicated to it. There's like chip shortages. And what they're doing, like I said, it's not just a Raspberry Pi. There's dedicated hardware that they can't always get their hands on because they're a really small company. The bicycle. That's right. The trike.
Do some Excite bike here,
right? So they've had a hell of a time getting this thing like actually out. There was a initial release that they filled, but then this is, I guess, like wave 2 or wave 3, and it's been like a year coming. I guess this last week a whole bunch of people like me just got theirs in the mail, and so it's practically it's practically a second release. Sparks, congrats on your 10-year anniversary. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, what the heck? Okay, so I'm just gotta find the right.
But anyways, I'm discovering though I really didn't need like one more system with bottomless games to play when I'm still working on it. I still haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom. I am doing another playthrough of Persona 5 for God knows why.
Royal?
Yeah, Royal.
Okay.
I've got to finish Jedi Survivor. I mean, there's just, this year has had so many freaking good games.
I know, and now you have like at your fingertips just.
Yeah, every
other old game if you wanted to.
Yeah, the analog is. I think I'm gonna carry it with me essentially like everywhere I go in my work bag. Like I can't help but think if 10-year-old me had been handed this thing, it's like, hey, here is your entire SNES and Genesis library in improved quality with 0 input latency, which I would have had no idea what that meant. But like here it is in your pocket. Oh, and by the way, you can buy a dock and connect it to your TV, so it's essentially like literally all of these systems, both as a portable and as a console. So,
is that mini HDMI to HDMI? Or
it's USB-C.
Oh, okay.
And actually, like, there is an official dock that I am going to buy. I'm kind of wondering, though, if I were to just take a USB-C to HDMI cable and plug it in, if I would be able to achieve the same effect. Because if so, we're going to be playing a lot of GBA games on this channel all of a sudden.
So, I don't know what the fuck.
What are you supposed to be doing? You got the gold gem. What does that star up there do? It just takes you back to the beginning?
Just takes me back to, a few steps to the left.
Do you maybe have to get Bouncy Guy into that bracket up there? Like take him and deposit him right there?
Oh, and then there's like a sound? You might be right, and if that's the case, it's a little weird. Alright, let's try that.
Nope.
I mean, it kind of looks...
And you can't pick up that statue, yeah? Okay, so wait, what if you put the trike in there and then the guy in there next to his friend?
Oh.
There you go.
Probably right.
This is it.
This is the way. All right.
But yeah, so the one, yep, that was
it.
So the one downside to the analog not being like a finger quotes actual emulator is that because it is only capable of running the hardware that exists inside of it. There's like this community that's doing some like really creative shit with it to try to jerry-rig a way so that it can run PS1 games. Like, there's no way it's ever going to be able to run PS2 games, but the architecture of the GBA, like you said, is technically 32 bits. So it is hypothetically possible to get the some PS1 titles running on it. But even then, it would have to be only like early PS1 titles, and also ones that don't have an R2 or L2 function.
Yeah.
Because it is essentially the GBA with 2 extra buttons.
Yeah, I actually have to take a look at it because I was like, there's no joystick, right?
No, there's no joystick, and there's only one L and R button.
Oh, well, that was like the GBA, just one L and one R. What are the extra two buttons?
The X and Y instead of just A and B.
Oh my gosh! Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh my.
They
Wow,
didn't
I
get
forgot
all
about
four
that.
face buttons until the DS.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what's this pop
It's
for?
kind of amazing probably to create a bomb to get that thing.
Yeah. So it's like, did I miss one?
Maybe. When you think
Oh,
about it,
no.
though, like, oh god. When you think about it, though, it really isn't. Oh god, you have to do this all over again. It's kind of incredible what they were able to accomplish with the GBA with, just the D-pad and 4 total, buttons.
That's true. I do remember a few games, especially like what do you call it? Ports. When they had the X games weren't on the GBA. What am I thinking of? Was it the Zero games I'm thinking?
Yeah,
of?
Mega
I
Man
just
Zero.
remember like
Yep.
L and R some shit.
Oh, you fucked up, Max.
Why am I like this?
Oh god.
Wait a second. I don't have to make something. I can literally take stuff out of the pot,
Sure you
including
can.
bombs. So let me just do that.
Turns out I'm just stupid.
I forgot how the clan pots work. But what do you call it? Yeah, I remember having to use L and R when I really didn't want to. Like what was it? Mario World. I think it was R to do the spin
Yes,
jump.
the spin jump. Yep.
Which is like, and I think that's how you do it in Mario Maker now as well.
Yeah, and actually, I was gonna say, in a weird way, I actually kind of prefer that as opposed to the A button.
But yeah, that's me. I did just I'm someone that spin jumps like all the freaking time. So.
Oh yeah, me too. And I like having it like right on my trigger finger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point where I do like triggers, but okay, I guess I'll take all this.
Wait, don't you have to shake it
There
to
we
make it? Oh, there you go. Never mind. Shut up, Chris.
Yeah, there was a bunch of bombs in one of those, so I just like threw 3 in there. Okay,
Oh no, what is this horse shit?
another one. Do I need this guy's
Kill him!
power?
Oh.
Wait, you can put people in there. I knew it.
You were right. And that's what you got to do. You got to catch all of them and then deposit them in their little hidey hole. I think I remember
Maybe.
this.
Oh, okay. You can't make like a super Santa or something. Oh, whoops.
Oh god.
At least
That
he
one-
doesn't die.
That one's your least favorite. You fucker.
All right, there we go. Shake, shake.
Sparks, you mean people will be able to play the very first Tomb Raider game in public?
Damn. And
Be able to masturbate our way through Tomb Raider all over again. But no, like if they were even able to just get like the Final Fantasies on that somehow, I would be on cloud 9.
yeah, that would be awesome.
Because like every subsequent re-release, even like the FF8 remaster, which they clearly put a lot of work into, like I don't know, it just never quite felt. None of the ports have ever really felt right to me.
Yeah?
Like I was I don't know what it is, and it may just be my lizard brain. Just looking for differences or something like that. Nice, well done.
All right, they're all going back in the pot.
Did you ever get a gold gem in here?
I did.
Good.
The first room. I bounced on those things.
Ah, okay.
So try harder.
Try harder,
Fuck
bitch.
you, okay.
At the
Yeah,
bottom of the screen, hey, we got a bitch here. Oh, hey,
Oh,
finally,
sweet,
Lunar.
Lunar.
There we go. But yeah, like to be able to play them on the analog would essentially be to play them with the look and feel that I remember from the 90s, and I think that's what I love so much about the system. Like they don't make heavy use of like filters that are meant to make the games look like a bad impersonation of modern games. You know, they just it's just straight up the actual hardware, and so they just look exactly right. It's boss time.
Yeah, I really want to see it in action.
I can like take maybe like a video for you after we're done here, just of like a random SNES game running on it. You probably will. Well, I mean, do you have like an emulator handheld, like a Raspberry Pi or something like one of those?
No, I mean the what do you call it? the Steam Deck ceiling thing.
Oh yeah, okay. So that would be a worthwhile comparison, because the Steam Deck is a amazing system for emulation. Like that's actually kind of how I plan on playing all of my PS1 games right now, unless the analog does pull a miracle.
Ouch. There's a.
How could I lose to?
I'm struggling to remember. Oh,
damn,
you
Max,
shake it?
You just caught a bullet. You caught a bullet.
Because like you throw a bunch of these at him, but
yeah,
it's also like when he does that.
I think it's like it's something to do with the dash. I think you have to like dash it to him, like instead of throwing it.
Oh,
I could be wrong.
There's that. Oh,
shake it, shake it.
That's what I was trying to do.
Oh,
couldn't shake it.
I don't know.
Ow.
Oh God.
There was like grabbing him. I thought was.
Oh, hey, there you go.
I guess.
That was something. You definitely heard him there. Oh, there you go. Nice. What did you do there that was different?
I just threw it quickly.
Ah, okay. The exact opposite of what I was thinking.
Nice.
But yeah, so the other day, actually, speaking of the Steam Deck, I for some reason opened up Xenogears on that thing, and then like I quickly saw myself going down the rabbit hole. I'm like, nope, you are finishing. You at the very least, you are finishing Tears of the Kingdom before starting fucking 80 hours Xenogears. 80 hours of Xenogears. God, that is a long freaking game.
I want to play that was like before, I was thinking, okay, what I want to do next, because I was playing Vampire Survivors again because they added some new achievements and crap. It's like, okay, I'm done with this game. What do I want to do now?
Yeah.
And I was thinking maybe I'll do Vagrant Story. It's like, you know what? No, I want to do frickin' Xenogears.
Dude, do Xenogears. You've never done it, right?
I've never done Xenogears.
Oh, you owe it to yourself.
Yeah. So
it's such a wonderful game.
And I'm sure there's parts of it that I've missed that I don't even know. Like,
well, I'll tell you my Xenogears story here in a minute. You go ahead first, though.
Oh, no, I was just saying, like, I'm sure there's parts that I've missed between the people that I've watched play it, and I've never watched, like, a Let's Play. Wait, no, I have watched a Let's Play.
No, don't watch a Let's Play if you can avoid it. There's so much to that story.
Oh, this was years ago.
Oh, okay.
This is, like, pre-pandemic, but, yeah. And
There's so much of the story in that game.
Because, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. Like, it was so ambitious. And I mentioned how it's like an 80-hour game. The funny thing about it is, though, I don't remember there being, like, a whole lot of, like, side content, necessarily. It's just jam-packed with constant story. I mean, like, what you'll want to do, like, it's almost better to play it on an emulator because you can save state.
Yeah.
Like, this game regularly has, like, hour-long cutscenes. Like, that's just wall-to-wall text. It's wild how much story is crammed into that game. But that being said, though, go ahead.
Till, like, the very end, I feel like, when they kind of just, like, rush the story.
Well, it's still not rushed. It's actually, in a weird way, it becomes even more linear story based, because all of a sudden, you're right, they ran out of time and money at the start of disc 2, and so they wanted to tell the whole story. So what they did is they literally have montages where the main cast is sitting in a chair looking at the camera telling you the story. So, like, after this, we went back to this town, and there we met this character, and they told us to go to this place. And then they deposit you in, like, a dungeon. It's like, okay, and then you beat the dungeon, and it's back to the chair, and it's like, and then after that, we found out. I mean, that's literally how they tell the story in Disc 2. And you know, people hated that. But honestly, I thought it was kind of neat. It was sort of weirdly reflective, because by the end of Disc 1, you really get to know the main cast, and it's almost like a device to see the story specifically through a certain character's eyes, or get, like, their take on everything that's happening. And it's not without its charm, despite that.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting that if it's the characters kind of telling the story, that it's like, okay, obviously you're not going to die before we get to where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other ways. I mean, there's other ways to have drama, and like it is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
definitely, I've never seen a role-playing game play out like that.
No, where they literally just exhausted their budget halfway through the game. Oh man.
Oh, Jill, he passed away.
He passed away.
Yeah, it's sad. Hey, are you going to the fest?
You want to get high? You want to smoke this with me? So two other things I'll say about Xenogears in particular is, first off, playing like the first hour and a half of it on the Steam Deck the other day. So like when I was a kid, the story and the like the dialogue blew my mind. I'm like, oh wow, this is like a fucking book. This is so good. It is good, but at the same time, like there is some absolute like 90s weebo melodrama inserted into it, like constantly. Like, why do I feel this darkness burning in my soul?
I mean, this was before like it was really that game and FF8 that kind of started like, oh, you know what, we can translate this pretty well. Like,
oh yeah, the translation
FF7
was fine. It's just what was written wasn't very good in some parts.
Yeah. But when you were saying like, I remember this being cool.
Well,
okay.
I remember thinking of it when I was 11 years old as like really high art.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is still a really great story, but
I think this is the one, the gold, doing the gold gem for this thing. I need to seize out.
Oh right, I remember this one. I remember you seizing out on this one too.
All right, let's see.
I never got this one. I think you got it for me.
Jump here, so please prepare to set a jumping. Okay, let's see. Oh, 11
seconds.
Okay.
Fuck you, Max. But no, like that was my kind of takeaway from playing a little bit of it on the emulator, was like, yes, it's a wonderful story and I'm absolutely looking forward to replaying it. But I kind of wonder what other plot beats I thought were like, oh god, the most emotional thing in the world as a child, that are just gonna be like, oh wow, this is ridiculous by today's standards.
Damn.
Hell, oh no! If only you were better.
I'm gonna try that again with my left hand.
If only you know, they call that the stranger. Always try the left hand.
But I'm wondering if, like, as a kid, because it was so different from all the other games, the dialogue that you played before.
It is super mature. Like that's part of it. But it's also like the game takes itself seriously constantly. Even in parts where like the dialogue is just cheese. Like I said, I gave that example. Like in the opening hour of the game, so this isn't a spoiler. The main character, Faye, encounters the gear, Veltal, and he accidentally like loses control and destroys his hometown. And
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and he, oh no. Oh wow, you suck, dude.
Oh no, this is the 200. I can't redo the 100 for some reason, so.
I see. Well, you would have beaten it there.
Definitely easier because give you a long time to just totally wipe the floor with everyone else.
Right.
Feel like a big man, or
you are big.
iBot G.
But anyways, like so he basically goes into exile. He is going through this forest, and that's where he encounters the female lead, Ellie, and their dialogue at that point is meant to be like really emotional. It's like Faye dealing with the guilt of accidentally killing the people that were closest to him, and like he has no idea what caused him to lose consciousness and activate this like death bomb thing in it, and he is like really upset, obviously. But the dialogue that they used to express it was just silly.
Wasn't there like almost like a fighting game kind of port, like a Coliseum?
Ooh, you know, and the other funny thing is, as much as I love that game, I've actually only played through it once because of how long it was, and so I'm digging like real deep to remember certain things about it. I think there is like an arena sort of thing, and that's where you meet Rico. I don't remember how often you can go back to it, or if there's like optional.
Yeah, I know you
bosses
could
there or
use
anything.
the different gears. I'm trying to remember, like, they're called gears, right?
Yeah.
I
do vaguely remember this, like, one where you don't get to use like your really good like player character gears. You use like more ordinary ones or something like that, and it's all about like the challenge of like taking out these enemies on like equal footing.
Yeah.
I might be remembering something totally different though. Come to think of it, but that's just like vaguely ringing a bell for me. Once you said it.
I remember that was a lot of fun. Like, that was one of the few parts I played. Where are my people?
What are you meant to be doing right now?
Collecting white balls?
Giggity.
There we go.
There's
Jeez.
a white ball.
Why are people throwing bombs?
Oh, God.
Your culture is wrong.
Right. What kind of fucked up society is this?
This is a really fucked up festival.
This is the fucking butterfly games is what this is. Only catch the white bombs or we are going to bomb your house. Oh, God.
No. No.
No. Why must you suck? Seriously, like, even a third white ball would be great. There it is.
There you go.
Hey. Oh, God.
Oh, come on.
Son of a bitch. This is heinous.
Is it just like, okay, well, I think we're good. I think we're good.
As long as you get more white than red, huh?
Yeah. It's also like,
ball.
Where were my people? Was I the only one carrying
Sparks
the pot?
gotta grab the white balls. That's right. Don't forget to cup them.
I don't think I have to win all of these. I guess I gotta... let's get math out of the way.
Probably shouldn't lose any, though. Math fun.
Yeah.
Math, finger
problems.
quotes, fun.
Answer as many questions as you can. It won't be accepted. Grab the
Hope
ball
you're
with
not
the correct
stupid.
number. A calculator. Make a mistake. To erase your answer. Jesus. Okay.
I got my cell phone calculator in case you're really feeling dumb. I'm ready.
Okay. So
4 plus 3.
Oh,
I think it's 7.
Just grab it. Okay.
Oh, you just got. Sure.
All right, this isn't so bad.
Oh, so you got to do it. It's not just getting it. You got to get it fast.
Oh.
15. Wait, am I understanding that right? You got to 5 by 1. So you do get graded by like how fast you are. Okay.
Or as long as they don't do it first, but I don't even see the guy.
Oh, so a calculator
16.
would be useless. Okay.
Like, he's just decided to quit.
I'm gonna start shouting wrong answers at you. 12. $94.
No.
Oh, God, you're so stupid. No. There's not even a 7 in it.
Okay, that was it. Wait.
I still won.
I thought I had 7 points and he had 24. Now for the lightning round. It makes all the other rounds worthless.
If she comes in second, she has to wear this cap that just says stupid on it.
Okay, I think I can talk again.
Oh, God.
I think this is just the race, but blah, 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 blah. Use your jumping to fly over the hurdles. Okay.
If and when you do play Xenogears, I would love like someone playing it for the first time in 2023 to talk about it with, just because of how I remember that game. That was like a real like coming of age experience for me.
It's a weird one.
It is. It's a weird ass game, and but in a good way.
Trying not to fly.
Oh, God. Oh, you got him. You got him.
All right.
Yahoo.
I guess they accepted it.
He just passes out of the finish line. His heart explodes in his chest. Oh, fuck. Oh, man. Just laying there like dead. Marina's like stepping on his head. Yeah, I'm the best.
Yahoo!
Yahoo! Oh, shit. But yeah, like I'm kind of curious, like whether it really is all just like nostalgia goggles for me, or if it really is as good as I remember it to like a fresh set of eyes. But anyways, the second thing that I want to say about Xenogears is that to this day, I am devastated that we will... I mean, the story that it tells is extremely self-contained, but you remember that thing? Are you aware of the, like, post-credits thing?
No.
It's kind of like a Star Wars deal where it turns out the first one is episode 4.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what Xenosaga was all about, right?
Well, no, it's not actually. So
or what?
Everyone was hoping it would be. But Xenogears is, I mean, it's the only one of its franchise, so it's not really. But at the end credits, it's revealed that what you just played was supposed to be episode 5 of 6.
Oh,
why they released it that way, who the fuck knows? We'll never know the answer to that.
I'm sure it made you hype as fuck, though. To be like,
yeah,
oh
because like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be massive, and well,
they're gonna do everything else before 5 first.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so what they do, like, during that second part of the story, they give you a lot of like, without trying to give too much away, like previous worlds and reincarnations of characters that are in the main story and things like that. And it's like all this happened like since the dawn of creation. Like that's how ambitious this was. and it's like you've just been part of this the whole time. And so I guess those other 4 games leading up to Xenogears were meant to tell like how they got there, and then 6 would come out and be like, this is what happens after the world-changing events at the end of Xenogears.
Okay.
So it was going to be super, super ambitious. And then it didn't quite light the world on fire the way that Squaresoft was hoping it would, and so they just never published another one, and they sold the rights to Namco, and they made the Xenosaga trilogy, which... Originally, fans were like, oh, okay, so it's not going to be Square, but, you know, another really good studio is going to pick it up, and they're gonna tell the rest of the story. Well, what Xenosaga ended up actually being was a story...
fanfic?
Not really. It's kind of like how in the, the Final Fantasy games, they share themes, but none of them actually take place in the same world.
Okay.
And so that's what Xenosaga was. There's like similar themes and characters that kind of look like someone that you may recognize. There's a lot of fan service there to people who played Xenogears, but no, there's no canonical story link to Xenogears other than just the nod wink stuff.
Okay.
And not only that though, but Xenosaga was also meant to be like 5 or 6 games, and the second one sucked ass.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
The second one was atrocious. Like, the first one was so great. And I was like, even though this isn't Xenogears, I like this, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. And then 2 came out, and it was so freaking bad that they decided, one...
Oh, damn it.
Oh, crap. That they were going to finish the story with the third game. But I also heard that the third game was actually pretty decent, but because I never finished...
I thought you played it.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't finish it.
I didn't make it through 2, and so I'm like, I'm not going to play 3.
Gotcha.
Maybe that's something that I'll emulate sometime, though.
Yeah, that can't be too difficult.
Yeah. But anyways, I love this boss fight so much.
I love all of
these.
The
these
Justice...
Cool. Justice Force or something.
Okay. Yeah.
The third
They're all
Reich,
really cool. I mean, Marco kind of was annoying.
Well,
until I figured out that you, Marco just took forever until I figured out that you could steal a spear.
Oh,
which was like hard mode, but the shield wasn't.
But you feel
bad.
like you feel like a badass doing it though.
Oh yeah.
So anyways, back to Xeno. So then after 2 sucked, and then they lost all of their goodwill, and so even though 3 was good, not as many people played it. Namco's like, okay, we're done with Xeno, so they let it sit for a couple of years, and then they sold...
oh my god.
and then they sold the Xeno license to Monolith Soft, I want to say?
Yeah.
And that's where Xenoblade, which is the current iteration of Xeno Inc. that is still going on. And
I don't know how I didn't know any of this.
It's also the most long running because you had Xenoblade Chronicles, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and then 2 and 3 on the Switch. I haven't played 3 yet, but Xenoblade and Xenoblade 2 were really good games. Like phenomenal games, actually. And so I probably am going to pick up 3 at some point. I also have X on the Wii U, but that didn't quite suck me in. It was.
Yeah. I heard the story was not as.
Well, it's almost like
tight on that.
Yeah, it's almost like open world exploration. And about 100 hours into the game, you finally get a gear that you can pilot. So it's really a game for like people who are balls deep into the lore of the new Xeno universe.
Ouch.
But that being said, if they were ever to re-release that one on the Switch, I might give it a second try. Just because it was super ambitious and really cool looking. The one thing I'll remember about that on the Wii U, though, is that your main character, for some reason, like the sense of scale in that game was really weird. It's a humongous open world, but then there's also like kind of this central city hub that your character occupies. But because you're meant to be running around like this world map that is hundreds of miles wide, your character can essentially run at like 60 miles an hour, and he can jump like 12 stories into the air. So when you're in the city, the physics don't change. So your main character is about as tall as a house, and he or she can clear houses in a single leap. It's hilarious. It just kind of takes you out of the experience a little bit, but I mean,
I would say a little bit.
It's still very cool. It's a cool game. And if you ever, want to burn 300 hours of your life, if you find yourself unemployed, that'd be a good one to pick up.
Also, I can't consistently toss him once I grab him.
Yeah, but all this is to say, all this is to say though that Xenogears and its universe will never know what could have been. I kind of, with as many properties from the 90s that Square is either remastering or revisiting in like kind of obscure ways, like I really hope we get a third Chrono game, and like hoping against hope that somehow they can revive Xeno, the original Xeno. But like, even if they have to call it something different because Monolith Soft technically owns Xeno right now, like maybe they just call it like Gears of Destiny or something like that. I don't fucking care.
Everyone knows what it is.
Yeah, right.
I mean, freaking Igarashi did that with Castlevania.
Yeah,
when he
where
started
it's not bloodstained.
Yeah. I mean, we all know what's going on.
Yeah, right. I mean, it is. Well, and that's the thing too, because like, I love this line.
To you.
That's so great. I love what Monolith Soft has done with Xeno. Gears. That's awesome, Sparks.
I just realized.
Oh, how about some
gem,
sex?
Basically.
Does she have a vagina?
I'm gonna have to remember how to.
She's a robot, right?
I don't know. I read the manual the other day, so she's a maid. Like.
But
so
she's a robot, right?
She's a robot.
I've been assuming she was a robot.
Yeah. I mean, that would kind of make turning into a human at the end of the game. Spoilers.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Dude, you're right. I forgot all about that. She becomes human.
Something I never knew is
Sparks, what even was that cutscene? Oh my god.
I know. It's the same exact cutscene after every single boss
over
fight.
And over again.
Against the boss if you never take a hit. Yeah, I know that. And I'm not looking forward to it.
Nope.
To get the ultimate ending.
You really need to pick up that 8-bit DOE N64 controller or something.
Yeah, actually. Oh, does 8-bit DOE have one?
Probably.
I'll just fucking get that. Like,
yeah,
they probably do. You're right.
I that's kind of their thing, right? Like taking the exact blueprints of these old controllers and making them work on new technology.
Yeah. Oh, this guy.
Fuck this guy. He's the worst one of the three.
He's the dumbest one for sure. Yeah.
He looks like a Republican that they just put in a cyborg suit. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, just like that white male indignation. What do you mean things aren't going my way today? Someone will pay for this.
I'm fighting someone today. I don't even care.
Right.
As you can see, I love the dialogue.
But yeah, no, Xeno, man, they need to somehow bring it back because, so even though Monolith Soft owns Xeno, I don't believe that they have like the character rights, which is why I think Natsume, when they picked up Xeno, that they couldn't like make another story starring Faye and Ellie. Like they had to create their own characters. I don't quite know how that works. I know nothing about copyright laws, but I do know.
Picked it up? Natsume?
Yeah, so in the early 2000s, Natsume, and then now Monolith Soft. I don't think they actually. Okay. I don't think they could release a Xeno game with the original PlayStation cast.
Okay.
For some reason, and the only reason I think that is because you remember that really weird Final Fantasy tribute game that came out a couple years ago with like the chibi characters?
Oh, World of Final Fantasy?
Yes. Yeah. The only reason I even think that is because in World of Final Fantasy, Xenogears, like the actual gear, Xenogears, was an optional boss.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. So they still have something.
Yeah, like I said, and for a fandom that hasn't had, a single drop in 20 years, that was pretty huge. Yes, like, oh my god! It's there.
Some of these things they
still acknowledge that it exists.
I just realized, I just figured out the other day, it's not Super Sluggers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sports game, maybe it's Olympics for the Wii. And, like some of the sports games, for some reason, from Nintendo, was developed by Square.
Yeah.
And, like, the 3-on-3 hoops, I know, was a Square game. So this one, it's like, there's volleyball and, like, shot put and, I think, basketball. And there's a secret boss, it's a Behemoth King.
Huh.
And you just have Mario, Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach, like, slamming volleyballs, or they're like rocks or something.
Yeah.
In space, riding on a comet and like killing a Behemoth King. It's like, what the fuck?
Copyright is weird. Copyright is really fucking weird. Like, I don't know how this stuff works.
In the days of Super Smash Brothers Brawl, I would have been like, well, I might pick this up just for this.
Seriously. God, he's so fucking stupid.
You thirsty dumb motherfucker.
Thirsty piece of shit.
Also, this is the stupidest play.
Sparks, when in doubt, put it in space.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finally have sex after all these years. Just runs away. They had the wrong number. That was awesome. Stupid asshole. Why is he screaming, help me? He's going of his own will.
Also, I mean, why is it going this
my
far?
Penis, it has a mind of its own. I can't stop. Help me.
Oh my gosh, I forgot all about World 4's Cave World.
Oh, isn't this where you get to play as what's his face?
Wow. Okay.
Oh wow, you suck, dude.
I do.
Sorry. I will never not be mean to you.
Play as I was gonna say Terrence.
Tarin, Torino, Gran Torino.
This game was longer than I remember.
It is, yeah. It's not a short game. I mean, it's not like huge. It's not like an RPG.
It's not huge, but yeah.
For a side scroller, it certainly gives you your money's worth.
Yeah, I don't remember why. Marina's at a commission at some point.
Yeah, like takes a hit to the boob or something. Robo Boob.
Robo. I was about to say their weak spots.
Yeah, notoriously. Yeah. When will we learn?
Are you good or bad?
Well, he's not hurting you.
You're just nobody.
You're just nobody. As she empties his wallet. You're just nobody. She throws it on the ground and leaves. Just cruel. Like, for some reason, Marina just every once in a while just says something incredibly cruel. You're just nobody. Fucking empties his wallet and leaves it.
Well, that was easy.
That was a little too easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Okay.
Wow, okay. I just fucking gave you that. That's cool.
They gotta give me one once in a while. Okay, so I Ow! I just touched it. Come on.
You got to beat it down there. I see.
Yeah, I'm sure that star was just gonna take me back to the beginning. San's death animation. This is easy then. And I'm sure I still have the gold gem.
So speaking of properties that I really wish would get revived, did you see that like fan made trailer? Oh shit! Of Chrono Break a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Oh man, like
that's so sad.
To this day, I really wish Square Enix would pull a Sega and just like hire that guy and be like, hey, fucking run with it, go.
Make
Chrono Break.
It looked great.
So
in
great.
3D, like. Wait, did I miss it?
Sparks Wright steals his identity. You're nobody now. Just takes everything.
Okay, that was easy.
That was too easy.
It just got slower after a while.
But yeah, like if Square would do that, like just stop sitting on one of the greatest franchises in history and not doing anything with it, I would love. Oh my god, Marina is cruel, isn't she?
I still remember this guy.
I don't even think he's trying to hurt you. I think he's just wondering why you're in his home. Look at him. He's like, please, miss.
I'm looking at him.
My children live here.
Maybe he should keep that tongue, away from me.
Oh god, he's grabbing him by the skull. God. Doesn't have an Ice Cube's chance in hell, does he?
This is why I like this game.
It's just so mean. It's just a mean.
She looks like she's having fun.
A mean-spirited game.
Like, what? I always wonder about these mini bosses. Like, reminds me of like a Nintendo, like just an old game where it's like, it has nothing to do with the story. They're just here to. Oh, okay. Thunder. Yeah.
Oh, now he's pissed.
You wanted to defend him. You wanted to defend him.
Good God. Oh, I see. You gotta hit the frog with that.
Okay.
If he didn't suck.
Damn.
Max.
He's just laughing. Damn. That would have. Okay, he's just gonna do it again.
He's just gonna do it again. But man, no. If Square would have just like contacted that guy and been like, hey, from now on you're in charge of developing Chrono Break, and just like carried out that vision through, that would have been so cool. Nice.
Didn't I get hurt at some point?
Huh?
I'm sure the gold gems are for not getting hurt.
They didn't
or
count
maybe that one was like you gotta defeat him with a cloud or something, with lightning. Or it was a gimme. Oh my god, this woman needs to stop having kids.
Wait, what?
This is the 3 kids from the beginning.
One. Yeah, I thought you were like looking at your phone or something. It's just like
I saw someone, an old friend.
Sarah Palin, what the fuck are you doing? This one needs to stop having kids.
Now there are 7 kids. Oh my god.
Looking at me. But yeah, both of those things make me sad because I'm 90% sure they'll never happen. But
yeah.
But at the same time, like I do think there's a better
things have happened that have been really exciting. Like
I think there is a better likelihood that we could potentially see a third Chrono game someday, just to like revive the franchise and cash in on it again.
I forgot the stage is horrifying.
Yeah, this is some fucked up shit. But it probably won't be what I want it to be, which would be like, don't make it like a modern AAA title. Instead, just like take it back to its roots. Make it like either a pre-rendered background or sprite-based game.
Sorry, are you talking about Xenogears?
No, Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
Like if they were to have, I think it's more likely that we would get a third Chrono Trigger game. But it also would probably be something other than what I would like it to be, which is, like a retro style game.
Yeah. You're right. Stuff like that, they think, okay, we have some goodwill with this game.
Yeah,
We're gonna give them what they really want, a
yes.
super remake, you know?
Like, even though the original Chrono game, for its day, was absolutely a AAA title, like, the way that the series has, you know, evolved, granted, in just one game, I really wouldn't want, like, a cutting-edge, like, open-world 4K Chrono game. Like, I would want it to look like the first two games, and, you know, just kind of give you that, like, unique, like, you know, Chrono Trigger was all about time travel, and Chrono Cross was all about interdimensional travel. I don't know where you would go from there, but I would like it to follow that theme, and I would like there to be, like, multiple worlds or something, which is something that you cannot do in a, you know, 4K open world title. Like, you need some linear level design in that. Yeah. And that just doesn't jive with Square lately. Though, like I said, Final Fantasy 16 was definitely a hell of a step in the right direction. Good God.
You know what's funny is you say it was a AAA game, and it was. Like, that was a huge game for the time.
Oh, yeah. With like, all of, like, the best developers, or the best names behind it, you know? Akira Toriyama working with Nobuo Uematsu and Hironobu Sakaguchi. And, like, all in the same, crazy, like, office. That was nuts. That was like a once in a lifetime thing. And then Chrono Cross was equally excellent in my book, but it didn't have quite the same pomp and circumstance, and it also was definitely
they
different.
did something very different.
They
which
did.
I respect the hell out of that game.
And they nailed it. I think people were just expecting something that looked and played exactly like Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, that's true. And as far
it's
as
kind
like
of the same
story,
reason that people...
It takes a long time to see how they're connected.
Yes. It's almost the same reason that when it was released, why people hated FF8, because it wasn't more of 7.
This is true.
And granted, there was some definite weirdness in 8, but I think
that's
it's
what
only...
I like about it now.
Me too, yeah. Like, I love 8.
That game's fucking weird.
Yeah, and I think its only real sin, though, was that it came out right after 7.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like, you look at 7 and 8, and as far as, like, the graphics and the style, what holds up better? Like, 8 holds up a heck of a lot
for
better.
sure.
7 is like, look at this blocky. Like,
yeah, no, so 7 was early PS1 3D days. You know, 8 was like, okay, now we know what we can do now.
Yeah, and like we were talking about earlier, the dialogue. I can't drop here.
And then there's 9, which is just
leveled up.
Yeah, oh for sure. And then there's 9, which is just an objectively perfect game.
Yeah, 9 is definitely... There's definitely been times in my life where 9 was my favorite Final Fantasy. Mm-hmm. I mean, it still goes back to 6, but 9 is the second best, easy. Like,
well, yeah, and I would go so far as to say that even though it's not my favorite Final Fantasy, 9 is absolutely the best Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, when you think about what Final Fantasy is and, like, which game carried it out to perfection, it's 9 without a
it was
doubt.
like kind of what I thought we were gonna get on the PlayStation with 7, and of course I love what we ended up getting with 7
yeah, totally.
8,
7 and 8 were wonderful,
but this was like the ultimate, like what I thought of as Final Fantasy as a kid.
Same.
And I could just hold on to the pod.
Yeah, it took like the incredible for their time graphics and then married it to the, you know, like classic style of Final Fantasy, and that was great. Sparks, I don't think Square Enix knows the meaning of linear timelines. They're outside time itself. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Also, we've seen Kingdom Hearts. We know. Yeah.
And Square just makes some weird decisions too. Like, you know, they'll be like, "Hey, remember this series that we released on the NES? Hey, it's now a mini game in Final Fantasy 15 for all of you people who remember that." What? Just like random shit like that. So who knows? We might see a Chrono game show up as like a side story of Final Fantasy 17. Who the fuck knows?
Or as a mobile game or something.
Right. Or they'll take like side projects and make them main projects like Final Fantasy 15. And, yeah, just weird shit. You never know what you're gonna get with Square.
You don't. I mean, they're like the best worst company.
They are. They kind of live to torture their fans.
Seriously.
And I keep coming back to them.
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it sold less than 1 million copies.
And really? At its time?
It sold really well at its time. It's just, I like Marina's like a legend now or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, less than 1 million. And it was like, how many we got? Okay, 2 more.
2 more. Those little
Over
fuckers.
Here, obviously.
There we go.
Big guy, alright.
So yeah, you were saying.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying that, yeah, it sold really well, and yet at the time, you got like AAA games today that sell 20 million or something.
And they're massive failures, yeah.
Yeah. You got like freaking Mario Kart selling 60 million copies over the course of the Switch's lifetime. It's like, what in the fuck?
Right. Well, that's kind of the Disney curse, right? Like everything is so big budget and like so earth-shattering that unless it is the greatest success in history, it was a failure.
Yeah.
Which is a really shitty way to do business.
It sucks. Also, I was wondering, like, Netflix, how it was like, why do they think so many things are a failure? Like, even Stranger Things, it's like, oh, it didn't do as well as we thought. Or, all these shows that seem like they're really, really not only good, but popular, too.
Well, you of course know why that is because when something like Netflix or Square Enix gets big enough, then they're run by their business office and not their creative teams.
Well, that's true.
So there's no room for a 2D sprite-based Chrono game in 2023 because it wouldn't move enough units.
You also have, when a show gets popular, all of a sudden the actors can, demand a better wage.
Command six-figure salaries. That's right.
A good wage, and they're like, no,
per
fuck
episode.
this.
Yeah.
So
it's
almost
wrong.
like
You should pay actors and writers adequately, but yeah, you're right. That can quickly become a curse.
Yeah. I don't know. That whole thing just pisses me off too. That's just like the writer strikes. Like they're not asking for much. Like they're just saying don't treat
shit
us
on
like
me.
it's fucking like the fucking 80s with streaming,
right?
And you're gonna give us like pennies for millions of streams. Like considering what the management who has no talent and doesn't do shit,
right? Yeah,
what they
except
get paid,
bankroll it, yeah.
And then I mean it's like that's why these strikes work. And I guess I gotta use this
because they only too late do they realize that they're nothing without their
like seriously
laboratory of monkeys writing their shows,
and they're thinking they're gonna starve them out. Like really? Okay. Like stuff is it's already drying up. Like you don't have.
And never mind that everybody who makes that kind of money has already spent it all and is massively in debt. So, whereas writers are probably used to living within their means, the CEOs of those companies aren't. So like, shit. What do you mean? What do you mean I might not make $1 billion this year?
You have someone like Bob Iger, like freaking made of money. More money than God, saying like, "Oh yeah, they're just being unreasonable."
Yeah,
like,
fuck
you
you,
on
dude.
TV and even say that,
right?
Just messed up. Well, yeah. Anyway, yeah, a lot of these companies they just know what the hell they're doing.
Nope. But yeah, so all of this has been a really roundabout way of saying like, I know exactly what I want from a Xeno or Chrono revival, and I doubt we'll ever see what I want, even if we do see something.
Yeah. It's, I mean, kind of like 7.
I've been surprised
we were
before,
finally getting something, and it was a lot of what we wanted.
Yeah.
But
a lot of what we didn't want, too.
Yeah, it was never going to be perfect.
No, of
but it was
not.
just very far away from what we thought it was going to be, unfortunately.
Well, like I said, when you've already created the perfect Final Fantasy, where do you go from there? Like, but by that logic, the series should have ended after 9, right?
Yeah.
Like when you've carried out Final Fantasy to the apex of what it can be. Well, like, and to be fair though, after 9, they really did change the series dramatically with each title. Like, 10 was a drastic departure. 11 was something that we never would have dreamed of before. 12 was extremely different than that, and 13, 15, 16 were all super different as well.
Yeah. And like him or hate him, like I know 13 gets a lot of flack, and deservedly so.
Yeah.
Like they changed. Like we also got 12 from the kind of experimentation that they did.
Yeah.
You know?
I do like where the series is now, which is again they're focusing on telling coherent stories, but they're still innovating, which is cool.
Yeah.
like just trying different shit because, like I said, if they tried to do something like they did with 9, it would probably fall flat. Of course, I don't know. Like I would.
Indie.
I would kind of like to see what a turn-based or ATB style Final Fantasy would look like with FF16 graphics. I think that'd be kind of neat, but I also don't know how well those two concepts would mesh.
You are hearing rumblings for a while about a 9. They say remake. I'm assuming it's a remaster, like 8. Which I would be totally down for.
Well, you know what I really hope they would do is, again, just release it the same story and style, but with like, oh god, this fucker. But with like, you know how much I love pre-rendered backgrounds. I would love to see every single backdrop in FF9 somehow recreated. Not somehow, it wouldn't even be hard to do. Just recreate it in 4K. And just put it out there with, really high-res character models. Sparks, that's terrifying. Yeah, a little bit. This is why Marina's out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyways, I would love to see a 9, quote-unquote, remake, remaster that's exactly that, where it's the exact game that you remember with, maybe some new dungeons and bosses, but, like, completely revamped classic visuals. That would be so freaking cool. Like, what would a PS1 PS5 hybrid game look like? I want to see that shit.
Yeah,
we're at the hour mark, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this one more time.
Do it.
And I think this is thematically a good place.
Thematically a good place to stop. Right.
All right, let's fucking go.
But man, how fucking cool would that be to see
right hand again?
To see 9 as we remember it, but with ultra high res backgrounds and character models. That would be so cool. And then you remember, like, I'll let you try to do this first.
No. Okay.
You remember when they re-released FF1 on the PSP, the like definitive version with like the extra dungeons that like had bosses from throughout the series in it?
Not Dawn of Souls. That was the advanced one.
Yeah, it was whatever came after.
About.
Yeah, but anyways, that would be really freaking cool to see in a 9 remake, where like there's this, because Necron was kind of a weird nebulous villain, right? It's like it implies he comes from other dimensions. It'd be really cool if like there was like this post-game dungeon where there's like an interdimensional rift and Zidane and crew go into it and they find like, I don't know, fucking Gilgamesh and a whole bunch of other just classic series bosses just hanging out in there, and they're all like super bosses. That would be cool.
That's what Square typically does with those. Well, that's what they did back in the day when they were remaking these games.
I'm easy to please, just throw Kefka in there, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, seriously, like FF4 Advance might have between 4, 5, and 6.
They did some of that in 4 too, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like give everyone a different ultimate weapon, like a new ultimate weapon.
Yep.
They put Zeramis, like, what was it? Zeramis
EG, Easy Game?
Yeah, it was just like the sprite from the Japanese Easy version.
Yeah. Oh, that was so cool.
Awesome.
Which was a big fucking scorpion, for some reason.
Yeah, I loved it.
That was weird as shit.
Yeah, with like a center, like human thing coming at it. I don't know. It was cool. It was cool shit. But anyway, yeah. There was one other thing. Oh, just that's what they typically do, and I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
It would also be cool if they did something like 9 had such a rich story.
Yes.
It was Final Fantasy. It was old Final Fantasy on the surface, but a little bit beneath that. Well, I guess Final Fantasy always had like messed up stories.
Sparks writes, imagine if they added Kefka to other FF games. He just shows up randomly and fucks everything. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like in the FF4 optional, like the GBA version on up, where those optional dungeons, it was really cool because it wasn't necessarily like adding on to the story, but it was, you got to see more of those characters and like their train of thought. That was cool. They just developed them a little bit more.
Yeah, and that would be easy for 9. You're right. Like
it would.
Some kind of either interdimensional thing or, something with not Terran, whatever that other planet was. It was Terra. Yeah,
Terra. Yeah.
Like another dungeon on Terra or something, because Terra ends up getting destroyed.
By Kuja.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and you bring all the whatever the fuck genomes along with you. Yeah, so I guess maybe it couldn't be there, and because it would have to be an end game thing. But whatever, I don't know. It's fun to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But next time we're going to, speaking of Terra, we're going to play as Terran, and for like 2 stages, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty short stay, but those are fun. Those are fun stages.
It is kind of fun. Yeah, you don't become Blockman for some weird reason, but yeah, you got to go around just punching because he doesn't believe in himself anymore. Whatever. Anyway,
right,
we'll see you next time, buddy.
See you next time, dude.